everyone, I am Gemma from Concrete Gems Crochet and I am here today to show you how to make this lovely fireworks blanket. As you can see, it's made with lots of different beautiful shades of reds, oranges and yellows with the grey hints around this bit and the grey borders around the hexagons. So what we're going to do first is I'll show you how to make the hexagons. So I made this using yarn from my stash, which, as you may or may not know, I am a massive fan of stash buster projects. It was all leftover yarn from, I don't know what I used it for before, but I will show you these beautiful oranges, yellows, there was some reds. Obviously I've used some other colours now, like these red colours. They were really nice in there. But you can make it in any colour you like. You could use hues of blues and greens, purples and pinks, whatever you fancy. And then you need a base colour, which for me was the grey. So I used Style Crush Special DK. It's obviously a DK, which is a category 3. It doesn't have that sign on here. A category 3 weight yarn. It's an 100% acrylic, and you get 295 meters or 322 yards in 100 grams. And I used quite a few different colors, all different leftovers. So you can do the same, and then the grey as my base color. So let's get started, shall we? You'll also need a 4mm crochet hook, some scissors and a tapestry needle. I'm going to show you how to do the motif, hexagon motif first. So for that, we start with any of your contrasting colour, so not your main colour, and we are going to start by making a magic ring. So this is how I make a magic ring. We were a little bit too close there. So we wrap our yarn around our finger like this. That's off the screen, sorry. So you cross over the yarn like that, and then you insert your hook into the ring, pull through a loop, and then I wrap the yarn around my hand as if I was going to start crocheting, which I am basically, and then chain 1 to secure it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to chain 3. So we've already got 1, so chain 2 more. And then we're going to do, so I'm working in US terminology. I always forget to say that. I am working in US terminology. So a single crochet in US terminology is a double crochet in UK. So if you're used to UK, every time I say single crochet, it's a double crochet. Every time I say double crochet, it's a treble crochet, and so on. So we've done our 3 chains. We're then going to do 11 double crochets, US double crochets, into our ring. So we'll end up with 12 because the chain 3 counts as a stitch. Okay. Now you'll have to forgive me for getting my yarn in a tangle. That is just the way I roll, especially when I'm using leftovers. It gets in quite a muddle. You can make this blanket any size that you want. I will give you the sizes in the description and in the main pattern for the one that I've made, and the different options: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, one more, 12. So then we're going to pull our ring tight to secure it, and we are going to do a slip stitch into that first stitch. Now I just count back to make sure I've got the right number: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So then you know which one to slip stitch into. That makes it a bit easier. So there you've got your first round. For the second round, we're going to chain 3 again. And then we're going to be working into the back posts of these stitches, which is going to create this lovely bridged, I think it looks like a Catherine wheel type effect. So yarn over, and then the first one's a bit tricky because you've got your chain 3 in the way. But basically you're going, and also we're going to be increasing as we go around as well. So just watch out for that. So yarn over and we insert our hook into the back between the last and the first stitch. So coming out the front, and then we go over that first stitch and back down the back. And then you yarn over and pull through a loop like that. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now the next stitch, we're going to do 2 of these around the same post. So around the next stitch, you go around it from front to back, from back to front to back. Woo. And do your double crochet like that. And then for the second one, you just go like over the top of it. And it will create a bit like a crossed over kind of a V. But that's basically the repeat. So we do 1 in the next one, and then we do 2 on the next one. And making sure you're going from the back around the stitch that you're working, and then back again. And keep repeating 1 in the first stitch, 2 around the second stitch, 1 around the third stitch, 3 around 2 around the next stitch. Golly, have I gone? I've gone. Can't talk and count and crochet all at the same time. It's too difficult. Right. So we're continuing that, and you can already see that that Catherine wheel type shape is appearing. This is our second round using the same colour. We use 2 rounds for this colour. Right, this is the last stitch, so I'm just going around it from back to front to the back again, and I need to do 2 on there, and you should have 18 stitches at the end of that. Let's just count them to make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then we slip stitch into that first proper DC, ignoring the chain 3. Chain 3 doesn't count as a stitch for that round. Okay, make sure you pull that center tight, and that is your first 2 rounds. So we're going to fasten off there, cut our yarn and pull through. Okay, and then we're going to be joining our our main color, our grey in this case. I mean, you could use a cream or any color really. Black, that's a bit of a risky color for yarn. There we go, here's the end. So you can join the yarn in any place here. So just going through the 2 loops of the stitch and pulling through your yarn and securing it. Okay, so then we're going to do 6 chains. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're not going to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to skip a stitch here, so we skip that one, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the next one. So that chain 6 counted as a double crochet and a chain 3. So then we chain 3 and we skip 1 stitch and we double crochet into the next stitch. And that is our repeat all the way around. Okay, so we're chaining 3 and then we're double crocheting we're skipping one stitch and double crocheting into the next one. Okay, and that's going to create this kind of spokes around the outside. So just carry on and do that now. Okay, so when you get to where your slip stitch was, where you joined, you just need to be careful that you go into the right stitch and you don't create too many stitches. So I like to count back from where I started. So that one should be there. So then I've got one in here. So it's not in here. It's not where the slip stitch is. It's in this one. Okay, so that's where my next double crochet goes. And then chain 3. I've got one here. Chain 3. And then we're going to join to our third chain of the 6 chains with a slip stitch. Okay, and then we can fasten off that colour. And then choose your next colour. I'm going to choose this orangey colour. So what you want to do with this one is you want to join it into the top of one of the double crochets, okay? So it doesn't matter which one, but make sure you go into the top of one of the double crochets, okay? And we pull through our yarn and just chain 1 to secure it. Okay, and then we're going to do a single crochet into that one. We're then going to working around the chains and then into the double crochets. And it's a bit of a pattern, but I'm sure you'll pick it up. So we're going to do a half double crochet first. Then we're going to do a double crochet. Then we're going to do 2 treble crochets. Oops. Where you have treble crochet, it always goes into the same stitch, okay? So sometimes you're going to end up with 4 stitches into the chain 3 space, and sometimes you'll have 3. Okay, so you've done a treble crochet, then you chain 3, and then you slip stitch into that the very first chain that you did, or the third chain from the hook. That makes a little picot, and then we do another treble into that same space. So then we're on to a double crochet in the double crochet, a half double crochet into the next chain 3 space, followed by a single crochet and another half double crochet. So you see in this space we've only got 3 stitches, whereas that space we had 4. So this next double crochet, what did we do? We are doing now a double crochet into the double crochet, and then into the chain 3 space we're going to be doing a treble crochet, 3 chains, and I'll slip stitch into that third chain from the hook, and then another treble. Next is a double crochet, and then a half double crochet, all into that chain 3 space. Okay, and then we get to the double crochet and we're going to do a single crochet into there. Then we're going to do a half double crochet into the chain 3 space, a double crochet, and a treble crochet. Whoops, what did I do there? And we chain 3 and do our slip stitch into the third chain from the hook, and another treble crochet still into that chain 3 space. So whenever you have your treble crochet, you do like 2 in the same stitch. So we've got to the next double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet into there. And we're going to do a half double crochet into the chain 3 space, and a single crochet and a half double crochet. And we've got to the next double crochet, which we do a double crochet into. I'm sure you can see the pattern now, but I will just keep going around as it's a little bit complicated. So then in the next chain 3 space, we're doing a treble, 3 chains. I'll slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook, another treble, double crochet, and a half double crochet. Then we get to the double crochet and we do a single crochet into there. Then we're on to a half double crochet, a double crochet, treble crochet, chain 3, slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook, and another treble in that same chain 3 space. We're nearly there now. We've got a double crochet into the double crochet, a half double crochet into the chain 3 space. Then we're on to single crochet, half double crochet in the chain 3 space. Now we've got to where we joined our yarn, so just be a bit careful here. But we're doing a double crochet into the top of the double crochet. Then we're doing our treble, our chain 3, slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the hook, treble again, double crochet, and a half double crochet to finish. Okay, and then we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet to fasten off. And there you have your hexagon shape created and your little fireworks sparks on the end, which I love. We've got one more round to do of the hexagons, and then I will leave you to make many hexagons. I think I made 90, so get crocheting. But obviously you can make as many as you want to make the size that you like for your blanket. Right, so for your final round, we're going to be working into the back loops only. So I'm going to join in the first one after the picot, so into that treble. As you can see, a bit dull today. Outside. So I'm just going to secure that with a chain, and then we're just going to be doing single crochets across. Just in the back loops there, okay? You should have 7 across, 2, 4, 6, 7, and then you're going to chain 2, and this chain 2 is going to go kind of behind the picot, behind that point of the star, okay? And then we're going to do single crochets in the back loops of the next side, and we're just going to repeat that. So you're just going to single crochet across each side and then chain 2 for the corner, remembering to do back loops only. Okay, so when you go over your join, your slip stitch join, just be careful that you don't add an extra stitch there as well, because that is easily done. So you want to have 7 stitches on each side, single crochets in the back loops only, and 2 chains in each corner, and then slip stitch to your first stitch to join at the end. So there you go, that is your first motif. And you can go ahead and repeat that now, and then weave in your ends and block it. So I used a blocking board, and I pulled out each of the points of the star of the hexagon to make it really stand out and pop. And weave in all your ends, and then you will be ready to join your motifs together, which I will show you now. Right, so I have now made my hexagons and I have blocked them and woven in all of the woven, who knows, all of the ends, apart from the odd one, which I left for some unknown reason. So now we are going to join them. So what we're going to do is we are going to put them right sides facing together like that. So you can see the wrong sides, and we're going to be joining them along the seams with a slip stitch join. So I like to crochet my seams because I'm not such a fan of the old sewing, but if you prefer sewing, then go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join my yarn into the chain 2 space, but I'm going to go into the work into the actual chains rather than into the chain space, and I'm going to work into the stitch that is nearest me on the piece that's nearest me, and the stitch that is furthest away from me on the piece that is furthest away from me. So I'm going to put my hook into that first chain, but the leg of the chain that's nearest me, and then on the other one I'm going to find the leg of the chain that is furthest away from me and go into that one, and then I'm just going to join my yarn and pull it through to join. Okay, so then we're going to be doing going into, so we've got our single crochet stitches all along, so we're going to just go into the back, the front loop of that one, and then the back loop of the one on the other side. You can see that, and then pull through a normal slip stitch. So we're just using one loop of each piece, which is the front loop. So the loop, it's easier to speak of it as the one nearest you and the one furthest away. So it's the outside 2 loops that you're going through each time to slip stitch, okay? So you just work your way across, working into each single crochet as you do, doing a slip stitch in each one, working in the outer loops. And then when you get to the chain, you're going to go into the outer loop of the chain as well. And there you have it. So I've just gone into one chain on each side, so that does a straight seam like that. And you can see that's what it's going to look like. So you kind of get a ridge there, or not a ridge, an indent, as it were. And then you can keep joining like that. So you'll take your next piece and place it on, and then carry on joining like that. So I try and do as many seams as I can at a time without having to cut my yarn and rejoin it, but you will have to do that quite a lot of times. I only managed like 3 or 4 seams before I had to join it again. And just keep on joining it. I mean, you can join it in whatever way you want. I joined mine in strips, which I'll just show you now. So let me lay it out for you to see. So you can see from the top. So I made strips across like this and then joined the strips. So you won't have a straight edge on any of the edges. So this edge goes like this, and this edge is like that. But we will then add a little border around, which will bring it all together. I didn't add halves. I thought about doing half hexagons, but I decided that actually I liked the uneven shape of it. So my blanket used 90 hexagons, and each long strip along this way is 10 long. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 10. So each strip of these is 10, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strips, I believe. I haven't quite finished joining it together, so I can't tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9 strips wide. So it's 9 strips wide, which of course makes sense because there are 90 hexagons. Right. So I will put in the description below options for different sizes if you want to make yours bigger. This is like a cot size blanket, baby blanket, or you can use it as a lap blanket. So yeah, that's it really. Let's move on to the border. Okay, so we have joined all of our squares, hexagons together now, and now we're going to make a small border. It's just a simple border, but it's fairly straightforward. So what you're going to do is you're going to join your yarn into any stitch along the border, and you're going to be doing single crochet through both loops along the edge of your hexagons. When you get to a chain 2 space kind of on the point, so the points and the like dips, I guess these are called, but on the point, when you get to the point, you're going to do a single crochet through the first chain, then a chain 1, then a single crochet in the second chain. Then you're just going to carry on all the way down. I'll just show you quickly. Hopefully the kids will stay quiet for a minute. Oh yeah, when you get to the chain 2s at the bottom here, you're going to just do 2 single crochets. So you've got 2 chains, so 2 single crochets. One will be kind of in the join, and then you carry on and move over to the other chain 2 space and do 2 single crochets there as well, and just continue all the way around for that round 1, and I will see you at the other side. Okay, so once you've got all the way around your blanket with round 1 of the border, you're going to join at the end with a slip stitch, and then we're going to carry on with round 2. So I've just got a little sample here that I'm just showing you how to do it, because I've finished the border on my blanket. I can actually show you what it looks like. Behind the guitar. So it's just a simple border, but it really finishes it off nicely. So it's 3 rounds, and we've done the first round already. So the second round, we're just going to be doing single crochet through both loops along each edge, just as we did before. The only difference being when you get to the like the middle points, you're going to do a single crochet 2 together. So you can see now that we've got these 2 stitches across the middle join. So we insert our hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through all 3. And that will help you kind of close that dip up a bit. So I'll just quickly get to the point and show you what happens at the point, and then I will show you round 3. So at the point, we've got our chain 1 here. So in the chain 1, we're going to do a single crochet, a chain 2, and another single crochet. Okay, and then we carry on down the other side. Make sure you don't miss that very first stitch because it can sometimes get hidden. Okay, So that is round 2 of your border. Once you've gone all the way around round 2, you're going to join that with a slip stitch to your first stitch as you did before, and then you can chain 1 and carry on for round 3. So round 3 is pretty much the same, so we're single crocheting through both loops along each edge. When we get to the corner this time, you'll see that you've got 1 stitch in the middle, which was your single crochet 2 together, and 2 either side. So we're going to do a single crochet 3 together in these 3 stitches. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through a loop, then insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through a loop, and insert into the final stitch, yarn over and pull through a loop. You've got 4 loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through all 4. Okay, and then you just carry on up the next side. Now you can do more rounds of the border if you wish. You do as many as you want, really. So when you get to your chain 2 space, you're going to do a single crochet, another chain 2 and a single crochet into that chain 2 space, and then carry on down the other side. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around until you get back to the beginning, join with a slip stitch at the end, and that is your blanket completed. Thank you very much for watching, for making your own blanket. I'd love you to share it. Come find me on socials or wherever, Concrete Gems Crochet, and I hope to see you again for another tutorial soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.